I am back to answer another age-old question that nobody has been asking. How fast can you touch water in every Kingdom Hearts game? That's right, I played through every Kingdom Hearts game in the series, minus the mobile games, with the goal of touching water as fast as possible, utilizing some speedrun strats that I've learned over the years. For this speedrun, the rules are simple. For me to be touching water, I must be in control of the character I'm playing as, while that character is standing on or in water. This means that I will not be counting getting hit by blizzard or water magic as touching water, since in my opinion, magical water is not real water. I know I'm probably taking this run too seriously. The run starts with KH1, where I select Proud Mode. You'll see why soon. For my starting option, I pick the sword for an extra strength point, which allows me to kill the shadows in the tutorial in 3 hits instead of 4. After opening this chest, breaking this box for a potion, and breaking this barrel, I open the door and select the top options for all of the questions, not that the options really matter that much here. In the next shadows fight, I walk to the right to avoid their jump attacks and use a ground combo to clear multiple enemies at once, finishing the fight with some fast air hits and jumping towards where the save point spawns before the next cutscene starts. After touching the save point, I make my way up to Dark Side and Death Abuse to progress the game. Being on Proud Mode means that I take way more damage, which makes Death Abusing faster than defeating Dark Side. After that, Sora wakes up on Destiny Islands and I can jump into some salty ocean water. Next up is the GBA version of Chain of Memories, which unfortunately starts with an unskippable opening, which lasts almost 2 minutes. My goal for this game is to get to Atlantica as soon as possible, since that is probably the closest we're going to get to standing in water. One person could argue that it's not actual water that Sora is standing in, since the world he's traversing is made up of his memories, and therefore it's memory water and not real water, and that Sora doesn't even swim within the water like in KH1's Atlantica. But this is the best we're gonna get, okay? To get to Atlantica, I have to clear the first set of worlds, since Atlantica is in the second set of world cards. Since I've never speedran Chain of Memories, I basically play it by ear. However, I do know that raid slides in this game are super broken, so that's my main strategy for pretty much everything going forward. I rushed Agrabah to get the Jafar Genie enemy card, which prevents enemies from breaking my attack slides. I also went to Halloween Town since the Oogie card is a good source of healing if I'm low on cures. I'd like to say that everything in this run went very smoothly, but sometimes you just die to Hades an hour and a half into the run because you're very bad at the game and entered the fight with Fire Raid instead of Blizzard Raid. It happens. I'll spare the rest of the details, just know that it's a lot of room card grinding, a lot of raids, a lot of opening doors, and eventually I entered Atlantica in about 2 hours and 12 minutes. For having never speedran this game before, I don't think I did too terribly, but I'll mention for educational reasons that the Chain of Memories Sora Story World Record by Ghost Wheel enters Atlantica about 40 minutes faster than me, which is really awesome. Chain of Memories was next, and just imagine everything that I just did, but in 3D. My chat and I theorized that I could touch water by standing in the fountain during the guard armor fight in the 2nd district. But unfortunately, some developer back in 2007 predicted that I would be doing this challenge 18 years after the game released and put up invisible walls preventing me from beating this challenge too quickly. Therefore, Atlantica was still my only option. I will say, while raid slides are effective in this game, they're not nearly as powerful as they are in the GBA version, just due to the 3D nature of the game. Still, I managed to enter Atlantica in less than 2 hours, thanks to the option of beginner mode in this remake, as opposed to the original, which doesn't even have difficulty options. KH2 is next, which I actually have some speedrun experience for. I select beginner mode, go through this short tutorial, and choose the struggle bat for +1 strength. The first fight against Cypher requires me to do some combos in a very specific way in order to manipulate the RNG of the Dusk after this, which allows me to quickly get in the 10 hits that I need to progress to the next phase, where I can kill the Dusk with 2 hits in a full combo. I complete the skateboard minigame once, make my way up to talk to Hainer, do 10 more hits on this Dusk, and quickly knock out this group of 3 Dusks with some more air hits and combos. I go up to fight Twilight Thorn, which consists of a lot of waiting around and mashing triangle in the first half of the fight, followed up by some extremely tight air combos while being careful not to get hit by his thorns. After that, I have to compete in the struggle tournament with Hainer as my first opponent, who I can just air combo repeatedly in this corner. I'm kinda downplaying this fight. This fight is actually one of the hardest to do in the speedrun. It just looks easy because I've put so many hours into practicing it. Vivi, on the other hand, is actually much more simple. It's more about having good positioning than anything, and eventually I can knock him out to collect all of the orbs. For the next set of Dusks, I utilize a lot of air hits and reversals to keep them stunned, and for Axel 1, I do some specific yet precise air combos to bypass his desperation move entirely. For Setzer, I let him win by smacking him once and then letting him smack me back, but I have been told that it's technically faster to beat him if you know the strat to do that optimally, which I unfortunately don't. And finally, on the next day, I'm able to visit the Sunset Terrace and stand on some fresh water. After a quick bathroom break, it was time to move on to days. And this is your reminder to hit that like and subscribe button if you like to get hydrated, or if you want to see more speedrunning content. From playing this game recently before, I already knew where the water I was looking for would be. There's a specific mission in Days where you fight against a giant flower in the tunnel of Twilight Town, which is the same area where you fight the Vivi clones in KH2, and there's water alongside the sides of the floor here. To get there, I have to first go through many tutorials, and unfortunately there's not much I can do to speed them up, aside from shortcutting fire and spamming it any chance I get. I also had to fight the completionist in me and only do the minimum requirements to finish each mission, which means less roaming around with Vexen in the scouting mission that everyone knows and loves, and no fighting this guy who has like 7 health bars. Eventually on day 23, I was able to start mission 12, eliminate the poison plant. With the underground area open, I rushed my way to room 2 to dip my toes into some H2O. Next up is Birth by Sleep, and this one took me not even 2 minutes.
I've got time to spare.
Oh wait, behind me! Please tell me I can go there right now. Oh! Recoded was next, which also didn't take long at all. Destiny Islands has plenty of water to spare, and while most of the ocean is blocked off by an invisible wall, you can still stand right on the edge.
Wow!
Dream Drop Distance had me in an interesting predicament. So the first fight in the game is against Ursula, and it's clearly raining out in the storm. Wait, it's raining. Wait, shouldn't this count as touching water? For the sake of the video and my own rules, I'm not gonna count this as touching water, but in my heart, I count it as touching water. So I made my way to Traverse Town, hoping that the fountain in the 2nd district didn't have an invisible wall around it this time.
Yeah.
Oh no! Well, at least there's an even bigger fountain that I can stand in at the newly added Fountain Square, which I just realized while reviewing this footage that it's heart-shaped. Kingdom Hearts 0.2 was up next, which I already knew would take less than half an hour since I've beaten this game in less than 25 minutes before. Now, I'm not counting standing on the Blizzard Trail as standing on water, the same way I'm not counting as getting hit by Blizzard or water magic in general. I'm also not counting the water fountain in the castle town that's frozen in time, because if the water is frozen in time, am I really standing on the water? It's okay though, I knew that right before the final fight against Demontide, there's a lot of water to go around, so I made my way through the game as quickly as possible. Correction, I'm stupid. The area before Demontide is just pure sand. Carry on. I fought against these shadows at the beginning, utilizing some barriers, counterblasts, and some combo cancelling to clear them quickly. Then I hit all of the gears, utilizing my newly acquired air slide and double flight abilities to clear some big gaps. For the first Demon Tower fight, I start the fight by doing a specific combo, incorporating Firaga and Blizzaga in order to build up the 2 grand magic spells. After using them both, I squeeze in a little shot lock for extra damage, and for the rest of the fight I unfortunately have to play very defensively since the boss decided to be very aggressive, but eventually I utilized some more magic spam and a little bit of Spellweaver to get the kill. As I was headed to the first mirror section, I was thinking to myself that maybe the arena where you fight Phantom Aqua could be water, but alas, it is made of glass. So I made my way through the rest of the Phantom Aqua fights, utilizing some more Spellweaver and some fire spells to skip her big desperation move, and moved on to the Forest of Thorns. To my surprise, after I destroyed the first dark side with some shot locks, and cleared up this mob fight with some grand magic, there was water waiting for me down below. Although I wouldn't recommend drinking any of this water. It doesn't look good for you. KH3 I thought was going to be the easiest before I touched water in Birth by Sleep, but it was still really easy. All I had to do here was select the starting options, and boom, an entire room covered in water and only water. Lastly, it was time for Melody of Memory. For this game, I had one of 2 options. For option 1, I could just rush to Atlantica, which I could count as standing in water, similarly to what I did in Chain of Memories. However, I decided that this wasn't convincing enough since this is merely a depiction of Kairi's memories of Sora. Plus, Sora is standing on a track and not actually standing in the world, at least in my opinion. So I went for the much more time-consuming option 2, which requires me to play all the way until the final boss, because the fight against Master Xehanort is the only time in this godforsaken game that you can actually touch water. So, a whopping 3 hours and 10 minutes later, I finally finished touching water in every single Kingdom Hearts game for a final time of 8 hours, 48 minutes, and 31 seconds. After a run like this, I can't wait to drink some water, but not before thanking all of you for watching, and thanking my wonderful patrons over on Patreon for supporting me. All it takes is a low cost of $4.99 per month, and you can get yourself access to all of my scripted videos, as well as some behind the scenes here and there. Man, I am so thirsty.